South America is the fourth biggest triangular continent in the western hemisphere of the world. So it is the fourth biggest triangular continent in the western part of the world, and it covers 13% of the total land area of the world. So it has a total land area of 13% of the world. Continent of South America comprises of many countries like Argentina, Brazil, Chile, etc. So it has a continent that has many countries with it, that is Argentina, Brazil and Chile. Geographically, South America is generally considered a continent forming the southern portion of the American landmass. So it is a country that is been forming and consisting from the southern portion of the American landmass, and Andes run down the western edge of the continent, and the land to the east of the North Andes is largely a tropical rainforest. So on the western part of it, it has a Andes mountain, and the part which is there in the northern of Andes is tropical in nature. That means it has a huge rainfall area of that region, and the vast Amazon river basin. The continent also contains drier regions such as extremely arid Atacama Desert, the Central Plains, the Eastern Plateau, extensive northern plateau, and the narrow and exceeding dry coastal line. So when it has an extremely tropical rainforest, and the river Amazon basin also flows from there, and it has an extremely dry areas also, which is known as an Atacama deserts. Okay, and extensively northeastern plateau and a narrow and exceeding dry coastal plain. So it has a desert arid area which are also very narrow, which is having also a very narrow dry coastal plains. Varied types of natural resources abound the country due to its mountainous physiography and extensive forest of the Amazon. So there are a lot of natural resources because of the physiographic structure of it, and because of the great Amazon river which has been going from there. And South America, geographically South America is far from the continents of Asia, Europe and Australia, and hence the resources obtained here plays a significant role in the political, social and economic life of the people of the continent. This South America is very far from Asia, Europe and Australia, and whatever crops that have been grown over here plays a very important role. Not only the crops, whatever resources that are there over here, they plays a very important role in their political, social and economic life of the people. Europe, Australia and Asia, irrespective of their geographical distance, play a significant role in the political, social and economic life of the continental areas. Even though these areas are very far away, but they also play a very important role in the political, social and economic life of their continental areas. The physiography of South America apparently is seen from the different natural sections, mainly Andes Mountain, Central Plains and Northern Eastern Plateau and the narrow coastal plains. So if we try to see and study the Southern America, then we have to see it from the various perspective, from the various section, and the most important part is to understand this South America is from the Andes Mountain, the Central Plain and the Northern Eastern Plateaus and narrow coastal plain. But this Andes mountain plays a very important role. Andes mountain range. Now what is the reach of this Andes mountain range? So Andes is the world's largest mountain range outside of Asia. It is adjacent to Panama. South of the Horn Mountain is 8,900 kilometers long approximately. So this Andes mountain is the highest mountain range outside Asia, and it is adjacent to the Panama, and the Horn Mountain is 8,900 kilometers long, 160 to 600 kilometers width is there, and 6,000 meter high mountain range. So that means the length, the width and the height of the mountain range is so. This snow-clad mountain range has 6,900 meters high peak as well. So the mountain which is covered with the huge snow has the height of 6,900 meters as well, and the highest peak, Mount Aconcagua, rises to an elevation of about 6,960 meters above the sea level. So the highest peak is Mount Aconcagua, and it has, from the sea level, if we see, it has 6,960 meters above. The South America has over 200 volcanoes, and Ecuador is one of the many countries of this continent that has the most volcanoes. So in South America there are many volcanoes, but Ecuador is one of the country where they have the most volcanoes. The Chimborazo and the Cotopaxi volcano mountain. So this Chimborazo and the Cotopaxi volcanic, these are the volcanic mountains. In this Chimborazo is an inactive one and Cotopaxi is active one. The Titicaca is the largest freshwater lake of Bolivia, which is 275 meters deep, and it is the highest lake situated at 3,660 meter high altitude in the world. So this Titicaca is the largest freshwater lake of the Bolivia, which is 275 meters deep, and it is the largest lake, highest lake which is situated at such high altitude in the world. The topography of the South America is varied. There are fertile river basins of the Amazon, Paraná, Paraguay and Orinoco, the highlands of Patagonia, deserts like Atacama and Torrid, and rain forest. So these are the tropical situations. Topography of the South America is very varied. There are the fertile basins of Amazon and Paraná and Paraguay and Orinoco. These are the highest grassland of Patagonia, deserts like Atacama and Torrido, and rain forest. Water sources. The origin of the most of the river of the continent is found in the Andes Mountain and Eastern Highlands. The main rivers of Amazon are Amazon, Negro, Ronguio, Modera, etc. Amazon is the world's largest river, covering the distance of 4,827 kilometers. So the origin of the most of the rivers of this continent are found in the Andes Mountain and the Eastern Highlands, and the main river is the Amazon river, and within Amazon river there is the Amazon Negro, Ronguio and Modera, etc. These are the parts of the Amazon, and Amazon is the one of the longest river that is covering the distance of 4,827 kilometers. The climate, vegetation and the wildlife. The central part of the continent of Southern America is in the torrid region and thus experience high temperature and frequent rainfall throughout the year. So the main part which is there in the Southern America is of the torrid region, and it always have the high rainfall over here throughout the year. Chile and Peru in the south of this continent experience dry and cold climate due to its neighboring continent Antarctica. The high mountain region of Andes experience snowfall too. Now Chile and Peru in the south of this continent experience dry and cold climate because of the neighboring continent which is Antarctica, and Andes also experience snowfall through. This continent has 21% forest and 14% grassland of the world. Brazil and Argentina have a torrid evergreen forest, Panama's and savanna grassland. The alfalfa grass of Panama is very well known. So 21% of the forest and 14% of the grasslands are there in this region, and Brazil and Argentina have a torrid green evergreen forest which is known as Panama's and savanna grasslands, and alfalfa grass of Panama is very well known. The diversity of animal in the Amazon river forest is unsurpassed from the rest of the world. The rare species of goat and sheep like the alpaca and the llama are found there. So, since there is so much of denseness in the forest, the Amazon forest and the species which stays over there cannot be surpassed. There are special types of sheep and goats like the alpaca and the llama are found there. Whales and seals aboard the sea due to the intense rainfall of the torrid region. The laterite soil of the area become infertile and unsuitable for the cultivation. So now they says that there are the seas, in sea we can find whales and seals, and since there is too much of rainfall in this region, the soil has lost its all fertility and it's not suitable for the cultivation. However, the terra roxa soil of Chile, Peru and Colombia are extremely favorable for the cultivation of the coffee. So there is a particular type of soil, that is terra roxa soil, which is very fertile, which is very good for the cultivation of the coffee, and which this soil is there in the Chile, Peru and Colombia. Agriculture and minerals. 60% of the population is involved in the agricultural activities in mere 4.2 of the total agricultural land area. Due to the varied climate condition, the physiography and the soil, the focus of agriculture has slightly altered from shift agriculture to the planting of cash crops. Now the geographical condition of this area is such that 60% of the population is involved in the agricultural activity on simply 4.2% of the total agricultural land. The physiographic part of this land is so, and the fertility of the soil is so, that there is a shift from the agricultural crop to the plantation cash crop. Thus, apart from a variety of cash crops, vegetables, orchid and horticulture farm have developed tremendously. Here, crops like cocoa, coffee, corn, sunflower, linseed and fruits are grown. So from plant agriculture, they have shifted to the plantation of the cash crops, and horticulture, orchids and farms have been developed tremendously. There are some specific crops that are grown in abundance, that is cocoa, coffee, corn, sunflower, linseed and fruits are grown, and 90% of the coffee of the world is obtained from the country like Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador and Argentina. Brazil are the leading producers of wheat and sugarcane. The minerals like magnesium, copper, mineral oil and coal are also obtained here. The maximum tin and mineral oil are found over here, and 4.6% of the mineral oil of the world is obtained from Venezuela.